Hey guys, so today we're gonna make an ancient temple. So let's start by hitting create and not start from scratch because we want a more even surface that we can control. So what we have to do is switch to flat. Then empty world. And here you can go with anything you like. I will choose day because it's really bright. It doesn't really matter, you can choose anything you want at this point. Alright, so let's start by making our ancient temple. So first of all, we want to add in this prop called Insert Grave Marker. So we add it in and we make sure the brown gets recalled to gray, so it looks more like marble, and the green. So now we take the prop, we clone it, and then I switch the grid on and rotate it 100 degrees on the Z axis, like this. So now I have the upside down version of it, and then I put the other one below. So now that looks like a column that we can use. So now I switch to the multi-edit tool, then I select the bottom one first, the top one, and then I press left button and Y for glue objects. So now we can have a column that we can use to make our temple. So let's put this one aside. Now we'll use the props from the dungeon pack. So I'm just gonna type dungeon. First of all, we want to make the ladder. I'm gonna rotate it around so we can see it. Alright. Make this guy bigger. And then we're gonna add the dungeon arc connector. We're gonna add it 4 times. So 1 for each side and 1 for the top. Here. Alright, so now we want to create the terrain that the temple will be on. So we can switch to add, make it a square brass, and then go here at the same height that our props are in. Remember, if you used create to create this world, then it will be leveled up the way you want. Otherwise, if you use create from scratch, that surface will not be straight and you will have a small difference later on. Right, so we make sure our brass is exactly where we want using the grid. You see now the corner of the brass is aligned to the two art connectors we put previously, and that will ensure that when we use Cubify, it will be straight. Alright, so now we want to replace the texture with the one we want that looks more like an ancient temple. So I'm gonna press up on the D-pad, then move on to the dungeon floor, which is here. Press A, and that would replace the one I was using right now. So when I press B, it will replace the texture. So now I want to fix the slopes on the edges. I want to make them be more solid and like flat instead of curved. So I want to go into Cubify, and then with the brush selected like this, so I have some edges from both sides, I just press and I cubify area. Now sometimes it may require to repaint some edges because cubify covers well, let's remove that. Let's actually remove that part because we don't need it anymore. It's a bit outside of what we want. So I just selected subtract and placed it so that I could remove one cube from what we have. So now we can align it properly. There we go. That's what happens when you start making props without making the terrain first. So now we want a roof, because we want a roof for the temple to be held by those arches. So we're gonna do something similar, but this time I'm gonna have the smallest scale. No, actually let's do a quicker method. Let's say we want the same roof with the same size as the floor. So I want to scale and make it as big as the floor itself, like this. So every corner is in the edge of the floor. Then we can raise it to the amount that we want to place the roof. Let's say here, place it, and then just move up like 2 layers, 2 clicks, or I don't know, 2 grid lines, whatever you want, and then just remove the rest. So now again you want to have this sort of flat surface instead of the curved. So we will switch to cubify and we cubify. And now that you'll notice that it's a bit thick and we don't want it to be that thick. So the first thing is to see if we can delete that upper part. In this case we can. But now if we want to make it even thinner than this, we have to do something else, because if I remove the upper part, the lower part gets removed as well. It's part of the voxel engine, so it doesn't support less than 2 rows of cubes. So in order to fix that, I'm gonna switch to cubify again, but this time I'm gonna decubify. By having my cursor on the edge, I'm gonna decubify. I need to have it a bit lower, it seems, like this. And by decubifying, it makes it look like more of a roof kind of area. So now we want to make our let's place the arches first. Again, you can use rotate and place them any way you want. You can use X and Y on the controller to place the prop higher or lower. Actually, let's do it first. Let's do that. Alright, so now, was it the same? Oh, this guy needs to move a bit to the left. Alright, so now we want to copy this row into the back row. So I choose to multi-edit mode, and then I press right trigger and I select all of my columns. I press left button and Y to glue, and then switch back to edit mode, grab it, place it again so it clones it with right trigger, and then place it back. You can also do it for the sides if you want. So now let's make this triangular arch. In order to do this, I use the stairs, and sometimes if you change the scale and try to stack them up, it won't look nice. In this case it does, but sometimes it won't. So we want to play it at default scale first, and after that we'll scale it to what we want. So for now I'm gonna switch to appearance and change the upper part to white. So the first 3 change to white. Then I'll copy it, place it here, so it's stuck 3 times, and then I switch to multi-edit, glue them together with the left button and Y, and then I grab them again and clone them and place them from the other side. Alright, this looks nice, but we need to do something in the center as well. So we're gonna use the connector again. I'm gonna scale it up so it fits this area. I'm gonna remove the grid to fine tune it. To remove the grid, press it down on D-pad. Let's see. Just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be super precise. And then we'll move up. I'm not gonna follow the gap now. I'm gonna follow some sort of triangular pyramid kind of thing, so it looks more natural. Alright, so now we have that we're ready, we can glue everything together, and I would start with this piece because this looks better to have our geometry be based on this prop when we glue everything together. So I selected this one first. I will select the rest as well. Again, use left button and glue with Y, and now I can use the whole thing and scale it to what I want. Let's try, let's see. Kinda looks good under 25, I think. Yeah, 25 degrees. Yeah, you can zoom the camera, by the way, by pressing right button and then using the left stick, in case you want to have a better view. So I think 25% works for the entrance, and then I'm gonna place 2 larger versions on top here. This has to be from the other side, so I have to use the grid with the down and the D-pad. If you want to fine-tune it, you can also go here without the grid and remove that part like this, so it doesn't overlap. There we go. And that's about it. That's our temple. That's a basic version of it. You can do all sorts of things with it if you want. For example, one thing I like to do is there is a free prop called Clay Pot, and it fits this kind of Greek ancient theme. If you're going for one, well, this is, you can recolor it if you want to make it more according to what you're going for. Note that this prop is also breakable, so as soon as you put it in, the character can break it. And also another trick, before adding any clutter to the building, you can use multi-edit, and then by holding the right trigger you can create a sphere and select everything. You can also interrupt the selection and then create it again at another place to make it faster. So now that I have selected everything, I can use left button and Y to glue them again. And one good thing that is useful for designers, if you guys want to preview what color you would like this to be, just press left button and brain, so Y on prop mode, and then say solid color equals, and whatever you want. I will go with yellow. So that will change everything, every prop that is selected. That is very useful for creating things like motorcycles and stuff. And then if you're bored to just change everything, you can do that sort of thing to change the color in all of the props at once. And I think we've had around 90 props. I think it's 90 props, including the character, which is 91. So let's see how many are there. Oh, it's 76. All right. Also, if you have the Epic Artist World Builder pack, you can change the color of the terrain to match your ancient temple as well. But that's basically it. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time.